Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. We're interrupting your regularly scheduled programming with breaking news. ABC News has learned that Israel has launched an attack on Iran, likely targeting Iran's nuclear sites. Tensions have been mounting in the region for several days. President Trump told reporters earlier today that it could happen at any time. We want to go right to Selena Wang, who is at the White House for us. Selena, what's the latest reporting?
Well, Lindsay, we don't have details on the size or the scope of this attack, but earlier today I had asked President Trump just how imminent an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facility could be, and President Trump told me that it very well could happen. But he also stressed again that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and made clear that he would prefer a diplomatic resolution to this. The president also said that last month he had warned Netanyahu not to launch such a strike. The president is concerned that this attack could actually derail ongoing U.S. and Iran negotiations. The president has been signaling for many weeks now that he believes the U.S. and Iran are close to a deal. But then just in recent days, the president has become less confident. But his envoy, Steve Witkoff, Lindsay, he is planning to travel to Oman for scheduled talks with his Iranian counterparts on Sunday. This is after multiple rounds of talks between the U.S. and Iran. The president today, as of just hours ago, still optimistic that an agreement could be reached. We'll see how this changes things.
Selena Wang from the White House, thank you. I want to go now to Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv, who's in a shelter there. Again, we just talked about these escalations and what it could potentially mean for these peace talks, which we were expecting to happen just days from now. Marcus, what are you learning?
Well, Lindsay, I can tell you that the tension has already, as you know, been high across the region. And just moments ago, the air raid sirens went off here in Tel Aviv, and there was an announcement on the loudspeaker here in the hotel where we're staying and working, and it urged everyone, the guests, to get to the shelter on their floor. And so that's where we are right now. Just to show you around just a little bit, you can see they have some supplies in here. There are cots, and guests have also joined in these shelters to try to get to a safe place. Because, Lindsay, the concern has been all along over any potential Israeli strike on Iran that there would be a response. And so following what the Israelis have called a preemptive strike tonight here in the Middle East, in Iran, they soon after that sounded the alarms for anyone really across all of Israel to get to their bomb shelters, anticipating that there would be a response from Iran, and a response, Lindsay, that would be quite swift. And what we have heard from the Iranians is that if any of their locations were hit, whether they're nuclear or not, that they would respond in kind. And so that is why there's been so much concern here tonight.
And we are taking a live look at Jerusalem at this moment. Marcus Moore, thank you. I want to bring in former State Department official and ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard. He joins us now. Steve, obviously, it cannot be overstated here just how widespread these implications are.
Indeed, Lindsay. And we want to find out what actually went on here. Apparently, President Trump told Benjamin Netanyahu just recently that the U.S. would not participate. So this seems to be an all-Israeli operation. Now, the Israelis do not have bombers, so they aren't able to drop the kind of ordnance that would penetrate deep into the buried sites that the Iranians hold their centrifuges. So the question here is, what did the Israelis hit? We are seeing some reports in Tehran that some air defense sites and military sites within Tehran have been hit, but that's not really the nuclear program. And that was the intent of the strikes tonight. The other thing we need to think about here, Lindsay, is that the Iranians have thousands of missiles, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles that can reach Tel Aviv, reach Israel. And so obviously Israel's on alert and expecting some sort of a retaliation from the Iranians quite soon.
And Steve, just want to stay with you here because we are just hearing from a U.S. official that the United States did not have any involvement. They were not in no way assisting with Israel in this attack. You have to imagine that this was the last thing the United States wanted, certainly not in anyone's best interest.
President Trump has been holding out hope that the negotiations that are going on in Oman were supposed to go on Sunday would actually lead to something, but has also been very frustrated. The Israelis see the ability of the Iranians to create a nuclear weapon as an existential threat, and so their ability to tolerate the kind of delays that we've seen out of the Iranians is very different from the U.S. So Benjamin Netanyahu made the decision to do what the Israelis have literally been planning for decades to do, and that is go after those nuclear sites to try to set back the Iranian nuclear program.
Steve Garnier for us, we thank you so much for your time, and we are now going to return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Our coverage continues on ABC News Live and abcnews.com. I'm Lindsay Davis in New York. Have a good night.
This has been a special report from ABC News.